guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a subscriber. This is from a young guy, sounds like he's in his early to mid 20s. He is from over in Europe, doesn't say what country, but Europe, and he is engaged. Engaged, way too young, and as you're going to see, engaged to the wrong girl. And he's writing into me about his situation, obviously wondering what he should do, what I think, the whole 9 yards. That'll be a very good one to cover here, guys, and it once again shows how important it is to really get to know your girl before you commit to her in any type of way, especially if you're going to get engaged or get married to her. And if you get with her in a relationship or you get engaged to her and you see her true colors eventually and they are pretty ugly, it's always best to cut your losses and move on. Even if you invested a lot of your time in her or spent money on her, because if you're seeing ugliness from her early on, and there isn't even a ring on her finger, can you imagine how bad she's going to be when you marry her, what your life's going to be? And it doesn't make a difference if you spent a lot of money on her or invested your time with her. Cut your losses and move on. It's just like an investment. You put money in a bad investment, it doesn't work out. After a while, it's best just to cut your losses, sell that stock or whatever asset that is, and take the tax loss and invest it someplace else, learn your lesson, move on. And right here, it's no different in life. So he says, hello SSM. I've been watching your channel for a while now and found myself in a situation where I need you in the community to smack some sense into me. Bro, you can count on that. To start off, I'm a male in my early 20s working as an IT support guy. I earn decent money for my age, having about 1/3 of my paycheck left and paying the expenses for the household. I have a fiancée in her mid-20s who I have also certainly gotten engaged to far too early. Smack! You should not have got me engaged in your early 20s. What the hell's the rush, bro? Seriously. I mean, you got your whole life. Now, I don't know your culture or anything or your family, but even then, as a man in the 21st century here, you got to be your own freaking man, do what you know is best for you. And wait till you guys hear all about his wonderful, darling fiancé. She comes from another country, and to get here, she borrowed money from various friends, but the biggest share came from me. She works as a waitress and earns about 2/3 of what I do. We live together, and she's supposed to be paying about 2/5 of the monthly expenses. You paid for her to come to your country? I really hope that she was smoking hot and a great body and great in the sack, amongst many other things. And I would hope that she'd be an amazing gal and loving and kind, supportive and all that. But no, nothing like that. Here are a couple things that have been happening lately. Let the smacking commence. Anytime we have a disagreement, she shuts down and refuses to communicate. Walk away. It's over. If your girl can't communicate with you about things, there's no relationship. Communication is key. Any relationship, let alone if you're going to get married to her. And if she doesn't want to talk about it and she just wants to just forget about it and be passive aggressive or do anything you can possibly imagine instead of talk about it, work things out, it's not going to work. Walk away. I'm doing you a favor. But we're not done yet. She demands my attention during any and all free time I have. Getting pissed anytime I don't text her back, usually because I'm busy focusing on things and not checking my phone. And loudly complaining about being the ignored girlfriend again, whenever I do things not involving her while she is around. Immediately she gets paranoid at the mention of a woman colleague who I had plenty of and interact with regularly, given my position. On 2 occasions, she has threatened to report me for, wait for it, abuse, because I raised my voice at her. You know what? I give myself a smack for that one as well. This has thankfully stopped after I told her that she can start packing her bags if she pulls this stunt again. Well, good for you for at least calling her on her BS there. And notice what happens when you lay down the law. Hey, you can pack your bags and get the hell out of here if you're pulling that crap. And she stopped. But she just found other things to be a pain in the ass about. It says here she constantly demands I deal with all phone calls for her, including calls that don't require my native language, even if the opening hours overlap with my work hours. The biggest issues, however, came this last month or so. So the situation is getting worse and worse and worse. This is what happens when you're with a gal who, she's an a-hole to you. You put up with it most of the time, and she's like, oh, I don't respect this guy. He's acting like a weak bitch by putting up with me and my BS, so I'll act even like a bigger bitch. And he puts up with it, and I'll be even bigger bitch than that. And round we go. You should have cut her off and got rid of her a long time ago. All of a sudden, she decided our marriage should happen this year, something I would only agree if she had started saving money for it as well as signing a prenup. 2 weeks ago, she gave her notice at work with her leaving at the end of February. Oh, how nice. So all the bills are on you now. In my country, she would have to get a new job within a month or get a different type of visa or face deportation. Lucky for me, we don't have to be married in order for her to get a family visa. In order to make an application, we had to get an appointment with the government, something she demanded I do despite her being at home due to an injury and me being at work busy to the point where I have a couple times to eat lunch while fixing the latest major outages. She only applied to a handful of jobs she didn't get a reply to, and then another handful when I pushed her to apply for some more. She claimed due to her injury that she can't pay her share of rent this month, as she chose to have it checked at a private clinic to reduce the wait time. She got told to rub some over-the-counter cream on it. I decided to be a bit lenient and told her she will pay me back over the course of the next few months. You're not going to get that money back. Yesterday she told me she actually had the money the entire time, but she wants to save it. So she had this money the whole time, but she was willing to take it from you anyway. I'd say give me the hand and fork over the money, honey. Despite allegedly having no money at the time, she decided to bring home 2 guinea pigs and buy them a bunch of stuff for their cage. Having not checked their sex, she got a male and a female. When I brought up the need for castration, she asked if I'll be chipping in. I, of course, said no. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like those little critters, but this was beyond irresponsible to get them at this time. You're damn right, she doesn't have a job. Why should you have to pay for them? I'm an animal lover, but seriously. We did have an argument where I called her out on buying pets when she can't even afford rent and it's about to be out of work. She threatened just to return them. I called her bluff and she said that she bought them for her, not me. I told her that if that's the case, she has no right to demand I pay for anything for them. Well, she's making demands of you from everything under the sun because she can clearly see she can get her way with you. Okay? You called her on a few things, but still she knows she can get her way with you. That's why she's pulling more BS. You're acting weak in her eyes, and let's be honest, my eyes too. This is what you're getting. And not to mention, any guy that would get engaged to a girl so quickly shows he doesn't have a whole lot of options. That shows that, again, to me, the community, and her. If you took your time and got to know her, and again, how you paid for her to come over to your country, again, that shows to her that a guy with high value, which all girls want to have, and women do respect the guys with high value, they wouldn't pay for some gal to come to their country. Oh, hell no, because they'd be getting women there. Those girls can pay for themselves to come to my country. You see my point? Your actions has caused her to have less and less respect for you. She's an a-hole, without a shadow of a doubt, but I hope you get my point. Says here, yesterday she tried claiming that she has offing herself thoughts as she's feeling like a failure. Pity party, pity party, pity party. I've been somewhat consistently calling her out on her BS. She keeps pulling, resulting in either her shutting down or yelling at me. What a wonderful relationship. You want to marry this girl? Really? Why haven't you kicked her out? Why haven't you kicked her out? And you know what? Hey, you get a job and get your visa, or you can be deported back to your own country, because I'm done. You should have kicked her to the curb a long time ago, brother. At one point, she told me that my content, is plaguing my mind with the thoughts of her cheating and told me to stop watching it. That got shut down real quick. So your girl knows about my channel, and she's going to see my channel and hate me even more after this video. Anyway, that's about all I can think of. Thanks for all the smacks. Keep doing what you do. Please let me know what you think. Here's what I think. You need to end this relationship with her immediately. What are you possibly getting out of this relationship? Let's see. You paid for her to come over to your country. That cost you money. She's making all these demands for you, demanding this, demanding that. She quit her job all of a sudden. Now you're having to pay for things. She's a horrible communicator. I'm guessing you're not hooking up or anything like that. Hates my work. Make things difficult for you. She's accusing you of this, accusing you of that if you're not responding to her texts right away. She wants your attention all the time. If you even mention another girl at work, she throws a hissy fit over that. Just drama central. You want this to be your life? Do you want this to be your wife? I don't care how hot she is or how great of a body she has or how great she is in the sack, which, by the way, I guarantee is you're not getting a whole lot, right? You're out of your mind if you marry her. You're out of your mind if you stay with her 1 minute after you watch this video. You need to kick her to the curb and get your man card back. And I don't care if you spent money to get her to come over here. I don't care if you spent money on her living with you or you invested your time on her. It's like I said in the beginning, you cut your losses, okay? You made a mistake, just like if any of you guys out there bought stock in a company that tanked because their technology became obsolete or they had a bad management team or something, and you held on to it thinking it would bounce back, but it's just not bouncing back for years, and finally you decide, you know what? I'm just going to cut my losses, take the tax loss, average it out with my gains, and move on and put that money somewhere else and learn a lesson. That's what you do here. You cut your losses and move on. Because I'm going to tell you something now, young brother. You live in another country. You're in Europe somewhere. What I tell you all the time about human nature being the same wherever you live, right? Same here. She's behaving just like some of these American a-hole women over here. No difference. And you're on the other side of the freaking world. And I'm telling you now, you marry her, if you think your life is bad now, wait till it happens if you marry her. And God forbid she gets pregnant and has some kids. Your nightmare is going to be permanent. Okay, well, nothing's permanent, but it'll be even worse. So you need to get rid of her now. Because if you don't, after you writing in and me taking the time to do your email and do this video here, and all the guys are going to say the same thing I'm saying, if you go ahead and stay with her and marry her, whatever misery you endure is your fault. She's an a-hole, but it's your fault for you had an opportunity to get free. It's your fault if this continues. And don't write me down the road complaining how miserable you are if you didn't listen to me. And I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but I need to be blunt with you. Because guys need to be talked to in a direct manner, and young guys really need to be spoken to in a way they understand. Do not marry this chick. Break up with her. Do everything you have to do legally, because obviously you're living under the same roof, so there may be some laws that can impact that whole situation, but you're done. She can go back to her country and be some other dude's problem. Otherwise, your life's going to get worse and worse and worse. And I don't want to hear, I can see her watching this now saying, you don't know me, or you don't know about my life. Well, you know what? I don't know her, and I don't know her story. I don't know her life. But I'm 45 freaking years old, and I've done probably close to a couple thousand videos at this point between all channels, read thousands more stories, lived my life, been around the world, been around the country, lived lots of places. I understand human nature, and I understand exactly what you're dealing with, and your life will be even worse if you stay with her. So kick her to the curb and move on, bro, and do not get any relationships right now. Focus on your grind. You're making good money for your age, good for you. Keep working hard. Move up in your company. Put away money, because you ain't going to have any money with her. I can tell you that right now. And take your time with the selection process of women in the future. There's no freaking rush. End of story. So I wish you the best. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. Tell him he's making a mistake staying with her, let alone marrying her. Give him some smacks in the comment section. He needs this. Be as direct as possible, gentlemen. Help a young brother out there. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.